Okay, so now we're going to start building our first workshop class. In the previous video, I showed you how to set up a category for the semester-long classes. So we had gone into utilities and we built the category for spring 2024. Today we're going to build a new class, so of course I need to go in and make a new category. So first we're going to go to event management, utilities, manage categories, and I'm going to call this test category, and my class is going to be test class. We'll just call it test cat, and we'll save it. Easy peasy. All right, just click OK and done, and we'll go back to our calendar activities. Now here you can do a few things before we build a new class. I just want to show you that this is a good way to see things at a glance. You can do all categories, or you can just go to spring 2021 if you were looking for stuff that's in the past, so you'd have to click on past. You can do all, you can do current. There's a lot of things you can do with this, and you can also type in words and look for categories like that as well. Okay, but for right now, we'll just set this to default all categories. We're going to build a new calendar activity. And we're going to call this our test class. And we're going to go ahead and set an activity beginning date and end date. In the past, we used to just set this date as the actual beginning date and the actual end date. But unfortunately, when we tried to utilize the DoubleKnot calendar, this is what would happen. You would get the class running on every single day instead of it running on just the days of the week that it was meeting. So most of our classes meet on Tuesday, Thursdays, or Monday, Wednesdays. So we're trying to utilize the custom build for this. So let's just pretend that this class is going to meet every Tuesday for the month of November. So we're going to go ahead and set our first day up, November 7th, and we're going to end it on November 7th. We're going to set the activity time. We're going to say this class is from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. All right, now we're going to go here to frequency and go to custom, and we're going to add a new instance. So as I pointed out earlier, this is how our classes look now. So it's showing scientifically outrageous on multiple days, not just on the days that it happens. So by doing the frequency, we're going to try to get it just on the Tuesdays. So we're going to go over here and we'll do the next one is the 14th, the 9 a.m. and of course that would end on the 14th. So it always starts and ends on the same day. And we'll add a new instance, and we'll go ahead and we'll just finish this up, and we'll do the 21st, 9 a.m. and ending on the 21st, 10 a.m. And we'll just do one more for kicks and giggles. We'll make this one the last one in November on the 28th, because the class meets on Tuesday. Like most of our classes, they meet once a week for about 6 weeks. 28th, 10, and now I'm going to walk you through the rest of this, and then I'll go over and show you how that shows up on the calendar. All right, so at this point, you do nothing with this, you do nothing with that. And here you would go ahead and put the educational coordinator that's owning those classes, so either Jamie or Al. And here you would put any directions about what kind of clothes to wear, what kind of snack to bring, where to go to meet for this class, those kind of details. Here, we just can fill this in. You can copy from your cheat sheet, all those things. Do not mess with this, do not mess with that. The color for the education programming is purple, so you can choose this. And what this is allowing us to see now is this class will be represented with the color purple on the calendar. Now this is not the public calendar. This is the internal calendar that we all look at within DoubleKnot. So we're trying to utilize it more, so just bear with us. We're not going to do an upsell category, and if you remember In the last video, we went ahead and we set up the file cabinet, so the semester-long category, which was spring 2024. And then this is the second category. This is the category of test. We set up a test category. So we're going to do that. And basically what this does, it just helps you to organize things. So if you want to come in and take a look at what's going on in the spring 2024 category, you can see all the classes at the same time. If you wanted to see what was going on with test category, you get to see all the classes that were listed in the test category. It's just pretty much for your convenience behind the scene. It doesn't matter. The people on the front end don't see this. Service hours doesn't matter. Make sure this is always in the off mode, even though I know it looks like it's not meant to look off, but leave it like that. Okay, the registration date. I always put this date of registration open the day before I start launching my classes, because I want to test, and I have a feeling that sometimes if you say that this class is going to start on the 24th and you put the 24th, it's not going to let you do it. So I always just put the day before for whatever reason. Now, the registration end date. This is the date that you decide you want the class to be closed to where no one else can register. And I believe what you have to do is you have to make it jive with this end date right here. I'm not going to lie to you. We're going to try this. So I would put this at the 7th. I know in the past sometimes you guys have liked to close the class on the Friday or the Saturday, but just for instructional purposes, we're just going to close it on the 7th. Now, from this point, we just follow the printed pages. I'm going to walk you through it. So we want the name registrant. We want the name of the kiddo that's going to register for this class. We are going to do this as a single cost, and we're going to make the class be $100. We need one minimum registration. Don't ask me why, but we put 5 here. And the maximum registrations would be the capacity you're going to have in that class, which is normally about 12. I'm not sure what you guys want to do about the wait lists. It seemed like it kind of maybe works. I don't know. This is where you'd put that in if you choose to. Now, this requires you to do math. If the class is going to be for a 4-year-old, I think it's 4-year-olds, you would do 48 months to 60 months. Always keep in mind that it's the bare minimum of the age, and it's the last month before the child's next birthday. So basically, a 4-year-old, 11-month-old child could be in this class. Does that make sense? Because they're not 5 yet. They're 4 years and 11 months. So it's kind of tricky with the months, but it hasn't been that big a problem. Okay, we're going to do not display email address. Do not display telephone number. Now, when we get down here, this is where you'll put in your information, or we'll just put in Jamie for right now. You'll put in Jamie. You keep the museum's phone number and all that. This is also where you would put in your receipt message. I'm not sure what we have going right now. I think it just says something about the cancellation policy and when to notify if you want money back. This is also where you can add in the same thing, confirmation. We're going to send a copy of the confirmation receipt to the event educational coordinator. Sometimes we actually put a comma and we will send this to workshops at, and that means Seldy gets them. And the reason we sometimes do that, and I guess we ask her each time, is because she gets a lot of emails. So we can do that for right now, just to show you. Don't touch this. We like to require a login or create a profile. So we capture some information. We can prompt to sign up for the e-list, which we haven't started using yet, but we're going to hopefully start to. We do none here. We do not do anything with this. We don't do anything with this. Here we do stuff with. This has to always be pay online. I know some people will want to pay with a check, come in cash, but just for right now, most of our transactions are online, and that's the only way that we can apply the convenience fee. So it has to be pay online, and yes, the payee pays the convenience fee, and currently we are charging 4% of the total of the class for the convenience fee. Now, this is very important. This is spring income, so it's going to go to the spring program income. When you do summer, it'll go to the summer program, and when you do fall, it'll go to the fall program. You get no other choices in that. All right, so we're going to go ahead and save this. Hopefully we won't get any messages. There we go. So if we go here, we can see that our test class is right here. So there's our category. So if we would have multiple, so if we were to duplicate this class and make one in December called test class 2, it would be under the category test class. Now let me go ahead and show you what that looks like on the calendar. I'm going to refresh. And when you get to the calendar, it's usually going to be in calendar mode, which is kind of annoying because then you can't see everything. So I always like to do the list. And it's always going to default you to the current month you're in. So all you have to do is arrow over. And if we go down to the 7th, we should see our test class, but not here. So if we go down to the 14th, we should see our test class. Yep, but not in any of these. And we go down to the 21st, test class. So you see, we're starting to get those classes just on the days. Now, if we get a little bit fancier, we can start giving different colors to these so that we can see, but hopefully it won't get as overwhelming as this. Okay, so that's how we build the class, and this is how it reflects on the calendar. And now I'm going to show you what it looks like to the consumer, and we'll do some testing.